Hey friends, I'm Jamie Maddox, your Wealth Embodiment Mentor. I teach how you are uniquely designed to attract wealth. In this podcast, I talk about body mapping and money. Body mapping is a unique map on your body that gives information, instructions, and direction for you specifically. Each episode, I highlight one area of the body, discuss its features, and more importantly, what that means for you and your money. So welcome. I'm excited to be on this journey together and can't wait to see what your body can teach you about money. Welcome back, everybody. This week, we are talking about hips. And this actually kind of goes along a little bit with shoulders that we talked about last week. So if you haven't listened to that episode, I invite you to go listen to the shoulders episode, or you can listen to this one first. Either way, but I suggest you listen to both at some point because they are connected and go together. So, all right, our hips. They are all about balance while moving forward. Now, if you're in a place where you can stand up and do a little test, I invite you to stand up and do this little test with me. Okay, so you're going to stand up. You're going to balance on one leg. Choose either leg, doesn't matter, and just see how it goes first, okay? And maybe even try both legs if you can. So balance on one leg and then switch over and balance on the other leg, okay? How did it go? Okay, now I want you to pick one leg and I want you to stand on just that leg, but I want you to put your finger on your belly button. From my recollection, I don't think it matters which hand. I hope I'm telling you correctly. So put a finger on your belly button and see what that does to help you balance. Okay, now try it on the other leg. So balance on one leg, put a finger on your belly button. Okay. Next, go back to just balancing. And now I want you to just focus on your big toe, the big toe of the foot you're balancing on. Okay. And then again, switch legs and just focus on the big toe on that foot. Okay. How did that go? Was it easier to balance when you were touching your belly button and or focusing on your big toe? I hope it was, because that is what it's supposed to do. So here's the thing. When we're balancing and when we're trying to find endurance in balancing, because I bet at the very beginning when you first stood on the one leg, it was like, oh, sweet, got it. But if you wanted to stay there and maintain it and create this endurance, that's where these small little things can really help. I mean, really, touching your belly button, focusing on your big toe. And I know that I've heard the science behind it. I don't currently remember it, and I didn't want to go look it up, so I didn't. So you are welcome to go do your own research of why that works, or maybe you already know, and that is fabulous, but I can't remember in this moment. So, but these small things can help us maintain endurance while we are balancing. Okay, so what does this have to do with our hips? Well, our hips are about balance and moving forward, and especially moving forward in feminine energy and moving in flow rather than hustle, because our hips are where we hold our feminine energy. So there's a lot of emotions in our hips. And this is actually one of the reasons I absolutely love Goddess Yoga, is because it is so focused on opening the hips, moving the hips, shaking the hips. And the purpose behind that is to get these emotions moving and flowing and processed through your body. And it's doing it in a fun, easy, sensual, beautiful way. So if you're what's Goddess Yoga? Or you're like, oh yeah, I wanted to try, but I'm a little nervous. Well, don't worry. I have a free Goddess Yoga class that you can just go onto my website, and I'll put the link down below or in the show notes. You can click on it. You can get access to a pre-recorded class, meaning you can try it out all on your own. You don't have to show up. You don't have to, I know, because it can be nerve-wracking to show up for a Goddess Yoga class or any type of class, but you can try it out, see what it is. But it's beautiful to help open up and release the emotions in the hips, because when we can connect to that feminine energy, and remember, men and women have feminine energy. When we can connect to that feminine energy, we connect to our emotions, we connect to flow, we connect to surrender and to pleasure. Okay. All of this helps to bring us into balance as we are moving forward. Okay. So the more narrow the hips, the easier it is to balance in tight spots. So kind of like I was talking about the slot canyons last week and like with the shoulders, it's very similar with the hips. Okay. Think about like easy to pivot, easy to move, finding that balance quickly and just being able to shift back and forth, that adaptability. Okay. With that being said, because it's quick and easy to shift, that's beautiful, but endurance takes a little bit more mindset to keep going. So that's where we want to come back to, okay, what little things, is it the affirmations? Is it like what part of that mindset is going to help you continue your endurance so that you keep making progress and having balance as you move forward? So definitely the affirmations, positive inner self-talk, and not just positive, but like loving and kind self-inner talk. Writing out positive quotes around your house, positive affirmations around your house, saying them throughout the day, listening to audios or meditations, being very intentional about what you are listening to and who you are listening to. Because let me tell you, a mindset can go down very quickly. You can lose that perspective and that ability to see things how you are desiring to see things. You can lose it quickly if you're not careful about what you are putting into your mind. Okay. And I'm not here to say you can or can't listen or watch whatever, because it is a personal choice. It is every person is different, but I want you to tune into you and ask yourself, is this helping my mindset? Will this help me to progress and move forward in the ways that I'm wanting and the direction that I'm wanting to go? And then listen and make the decision. Okay. People with wider hips, they have an easier time balancing and moving forward quickly. Okay. So it's a little bit more natural to just move forward, have that balance, it's a little bit more of like a solid structural base. And so they're able to move forward quickly and in balance. So therefore, for them to have endurance, it's a little bit less mindset needed. Not that it's not needed. It's just not needed as much if someone has narrow hips. Does that make sense? Okay. So the thing is, flexibility is required for progression and for moving forward. And when you think of hips, the hips are just fascinating to me because in women's bodies, with creation, with creating babies, women's hips move. They expand and contract to fit the baby in there, to birth the baby. Some go back to their place beforehand. Other hips stay more wide. Hips are fascinating. So again, this is a place that you get to look at yourself, look at your hips, and just notice, okay, what were my hips like before I had a child, if you've had children? What have my hips done since? And just notice, like, okay, did I feel like I needed a wider hip base to keep moving forward quickly after having kids? Or did I feel totally safe to go back to having more narrow hips? And I'm good to have a little bit more of a need for mindset. Okay. The thing is we're always all progressing in life. And that may be contradictory to what some of you have been taught or think or feel, but we're always progressing, because even when we sometimes get to places in our life that feel maybe a little stagnant or like we're stuck or there's a plateau, majority of people, and especially the people in my world and the people that listen to this podcast, you're usually still trying to figure things out. Like you're still kind of experimenting. You're still looking at how you can move forward and how and where you want to progress in the next phase, right? So there's always progression. Now, one question that I get a lot with when talking about hips is, what about like, muffin tops or, like the little bit of like, what's the word? I can't even remember, but just like that little bit of extra love handles. There we go. You're welcome. There you got to see my little thought process. Okay, like love handles. So it's like, well, what do those mean? Okay, so those tend to be that you don't feel supported as you are moving forward. Okay, you don't feel like you have the support. And so your body is giving you a little bit of extra protection. Sometimes this can turn into kind of like a trophy of like the hurt, hard, and broken that people are going through. And that's where we get to just love on those side handles, or I can't remember the name. You guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, can't remember the name, but you know what okay. Anyway, you get to just really lovingly say, I validate my own experience. I validate my hurt. I validate anything that's been hard, anything that has felt broken in my life. And I validate not feeling supported when I've been wanting to move forward quickly. I validate that I could use more support in my life. Okay, because when we love and we validate, then we feel support, and it has to start within us first. It doesn't mean that we don't need and want it from the outside sources, but when we can do it and provide it and validate ourselves first, it goes a really, really long way. Okay, so I can feel there's just a lot with hips. Okay, so just maybe tap on your collarbone for a second and just say, I can love myself through feeling all these sensations, all these emotions. I can love myself no matter the size of my hips or my love handles or moving forward or feeling like I'm not progressing. I'm allowed to be loved. I'm allowed to be cherished. I'm allowed to be supported as I move forward. I'm allowed to have adaptability and flexibility. And it's easy to find the right mindset, the right support, the right validation I need as I move forward in my life. I am safe to move forward quickly in a balanced and supported way. I'm safe to move forward quickly in a balanced and supported way. Okay, and then just kind of rub your heart for a second, because that's the truth. You are allowed to be loved and supported and have what you need to move forward quickly. And the mindset can be easy. Even if you have narrow hips, the mindset can be really easy. Think about it, like going back to balancing on your leg and putting your hand on your belly button. It was easy. Okay, let it be easy to move forward in a beautiful, balanced progression towards the goals that you desire, the things that you desire. Because if you are desiring it, it is desiring you too, and you're allowed to have it. So that goes for money, that goes for relationships, that goes for health. Any of these things that you want in your life, you're allowed to have it, and you're allowed to bring it forward and bring it into your life with great ease. Great ease. So I hope this was helpful. I hope that you gained insights and perspective and a greater love for your body, because our bodies are constantly and continually giving us messages, sending us information, telling us things. And when we really can tune in and really can listen and learn the messages of our body, that is when we have beautiful, beautiful, easy breakthroughs, beautiful, easy progression. We get to quantum leap. We get to just move forward with the support that we're desiring and that we need in our life. So have a beautiful week, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks for listening. Make sure to check back each week for the newest content about your body and your wealth. If you've enjoyed this episode, please share with your friends and give it a 5-star review. Make sure to visit healinghopewithjamie.com for new offers, retreats, and ways to embody your wealthy life.